everybody, it's Old School Nerd. Today we're talking about a country that looks like the hat that no, it's Chile, not Chile. Oh, my bad. Then I should probably take this hat off, huh? Is it insensitive? I think it's insensitive. Welcome to Tuesday Travels with Old School Nerd. Today, we're talking about a country in South America. Yes, if you haven't noticed by now, we're going from continent to continent to continent. Why? Because it's a global metal world. And I thought that for South America, let's go to the one that is the most metal of all. Now, for those of you who live in Brazil and Argentina and Paraguay and Peru, which is, I'm not knocking you. I'm just saying, there is no more country that is more metal right now than Chile. Why? Well, because the things, and I'm going to explain this to you right now. Now, before I say anything else, let me also say this. Number one, this video is not the factual center of all things metal music in Chile. No, absolutely. Those of you who know my channel know I'm an idiot. Technically, I know nothing. But for these videos, I thought, you know what? I would do just enough research to give you just enough. I'm a metal amuse-bouche. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It's a little taster. It's a little something that says, you know what? I need to go check that out. And that's exactly what I'm doing with this whole series. I'm not here to tell you about everything. I'm just here to tell you enough to make you go, I should check that country out. And you need to check out Chile. Now, here's the thing. The country of Chile is very, very unique. It's one of the most uniquely shaped countries in the world. It runs along the west coast of South America, running from the tip of the Andes all the way down to the very tip of South America. It's probably it has more coastline than any other country in South America, I believe. Yeah. It also is very narrow, but it covers a lot of ground area because of its length. Check it out. It's a really unique looking country. Now, the capital is Santiago. Now, I did do a little bit of research, and on the video here, you're going to see really three things. You're going to see the Chilean flag, which looks a lot like the flag for the state of Texas, just, a little shorter on the blue area, and the country of Chile, which their colors are red, white, and blue, just like Texas. Also, just like Texas, Chile has an attitude about some things, and two of the things I want to talk about is their music. And to talk about their music, we got to talk a little bit about the situation culturally, politically, and through the people that's going on in Chile. Now, in October 2019, something really, really immense happened in Chile. For decades, the Chilean government was run pretty much like a totalitarian dictatorship. The laws were crazy. Rights were suppressed, there was human rights violations, rampant corruption, and the only reason why nobody knew about it was because, Afghanistan and North Korea were number 1 and number 2, and Chile was number 3 in global corruption. That's not a joke. Well, in October of 2019, the people rose up, technically all of them, and said, no more, we want our country back. And through a massive revolutionary explosion of the people's voice, things are now changing, which does something very unique. Chile's metal has always been heavy. It's always been hard. It's always been underground. In fact, there are more underground to be a metal band, to sing about the things you wanted to sing about, you had to be off the radar. So the underground metal scene in Chile is untouched by any other country, unless you also live in a repressive regime where you can't really express yourselves freely. So if you think about the punk phase in the early 80s in the UK and in the US, it's like that, but on hey, if we get caught, we might go to prison. Yeah, so it's like that. In fact, Metal Underground says that there are over 178 tracked metal bands in Chile right now, and there's many more coming up all the time. Now, some of the videos you're seeing are some of the amazing metal bands that I've had the privilege of checking out their metal in the last 4 years of my channel. bands like Cerebral Slaughter, Deceases, but there are so many others that, yeah, that just happened. That's what I'm talking about when I talk about Chilean metal. Now, the savagery of your metal in a country usually is indicative to the political and social climate. So if that's the case, you can expect Swedish metal to be exactly what we love about Swedish metal. It's glorious, it's positive, it's big, it's happy, they all look amazing. I hate that they all look so perfect. But in Chile, it's dark, it's brooding, it's aggressive. Why? Because that's just the life of being Chilean for so many years. Things are a little bit different now, and more expressiveness is coming out. You see a lot more street art, visual art is now accepted in public areas, and more music. So you get bands like the Deceases that are coming out doing modern stuff. Now, here's the thing. If you love aggressive, savage, Infant Annihilator, Cerebral Slaughter, that cattle decapitation, that kind of stuff, Chile is your spot. You want to talk about, well, you're seeing it on the screen. I mean, they don't hold anything back because at the end of the day, for so many decades, it was live or die down there, man. It was really the things that we hear about from our grandparents and our parents that we read in history books, where it was a matter of life and death, and the struggle to be who we are was you could die, and that literally was Chile just 5 years ago. And I'm so excited for that country to now be so expressive and powerful. So when you see a band coming out of Chile that's metal, check them out because they probably have an amazing story. Another thing about Chile that I didn't know was that you don't eat sandwiches with your bare hands. Did you know that? No. Chile is the most posh country when it comes to sandwiches. They make all of you Brits look very scummy. Yeah, you don't touch a sandwich with your hands. You eat it with a knife and fork. And there are more sandwiches in Chile than any other type of dish. That's like their groove. Like, I'm a Cajun. We do gumbo and seafood and a bunch of Cajun French cuisine. You know, if you go to India, that's a whole nother world. You go to Japan, you go to different places and they have a cuisine. Chile has mastered the sandwich. So much so that if you eat it with your hands, it's offensive that you would dare mess with that sandwich. No. Knife and fork. It's weird, but you know what? If you're going to do something, do it to the absolute epic level that you want. And that's exactly what Chile does. They do everything to the absolute pinnacle of what's possible. And that's why I think Chile is an amazing country. I would love to visit there, but up until about 5 years ago, there was a travel warning here in the US. You just don't go to Chile. If something happens to you, we can't go and get you. That's how rough and tumble it is. So, one of the most beautiful countries where scenic beaches, that technically they are all just one long scenic beach on the west side of the country. But through a savage past few decades of oppression of a people, now leads to an explosion of creativity and art that we need to keep an eye out for. So, metal in Chile is savage, it's creative, just like the people who took back their country just 5 years ago. My name is Old School Nerd. Hope you enjoyed that. Check out Metal Underground and a few other websites for a list of Chilean metal bands that you can check out. There's a lot. And you really got to look forward to finding them because up until about 5 years ago, they weren't even allowed to really be known. And it's a great day for Chilean music, and I'm looking forward to hearing more. So if you're for bands like Deceases and Cerebral Slaughter, thanks for reaching out to me and sharing your music with me, because I'm going to keep sharing it with the world because, I mean, come on. Even the devil's dancing and blowing people's heads off in this video. The Chileans. Thanks for watching, everybody. And if you enjoyed this video, give us a like. It really helps the channel grow. Also, if you want to subscribe, right over there. A big thank you to all my Patreons out there for everything you do. And if you want more content like this, check them out above. Remember, love one another, take care of each other. We're all stuck on this mud ball together. We'll see you later.